What's up with you, Dave? What's up, brother?
Hey, good to hear you. Damius. Awesome.
Yeah.
Where are you at today? You in the office?
Yeah, if you want to call it that, I'm kind of computer. I'm ready to do some podio stuff, man. Trying to search down this owner, man. We got a $15,000 profit deal on the line, and we got some title issues. So,
Okay.
Out of state owner.
Wow. Thank goodness I've never experienced a title issue. Are you working with the title company right now and they discovered it?
Yeah, so they discovered it. There's a property. We've got the owner in our city. They state they're not aware, but basically someone filed what I think is called a transfer of affidavit or something like that. Basically, they're just saying they have some equitable interest in the property, and they clout the title. That's pretty much what it is. They clout the title.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I'm saying a prayer that it goes real smoothly for you because I don't want you to get held up on that $15,000 deal.
Yeah. Well, as you know, man, this business is a roller coaster. So,
Yeah, it can be.
Got to keep pushing through it. That's where we make our money.
For sure. Now, this isn't your first deal.
No.
Right?
No, this isn't the first one.
Because you already got your podio system set up, man. You must be rocking and rolling, right? You've done a few deals.
Yeah. We I think I started in this business maybe in December, where I kind of was like, okay, let's take that action that we always talk about. And I think we did our first $50,000-$60,000 month last month. So
Dang.
we just
That's no joke.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's real money right there.
Tell me about what you got going on, man. You the dude that's got the whole real estate world, man, pretty much in the palm of your hand, solving problems with this DealMachine app and making our lives easier, man. Tell me something, man. Talk to me a little bit.
Oh man, that's kind of you to say. But I personally I just moved into a house myself. It's been it's the sixth house because I started buying my first one in 2017.
Okay.
And I lived in there and had 4 roommates. So I was house hacking and man, that was a full house. That was too many roommates.
Yeah.
But it's was about the same time when I realized I'd made DealMachine for myself. And then I put it on the app store so some friends could use it. And then I was like, dang, people are finding this, even though it wasn't very good at the time. I was like, man, people are finding it, wanting to use it. So I was like, all right, I got to quit my job and work on this right now. And so that little house hack situation really helped out, because when things were starting up, it probably took 1.5 years before I paid myself a salary. But so yeah, man. So I kind of bought a few more rentals after that. The last 2 were just the very favorite type of deals. They're the BRRRR deals. So you ever done one of those?
No, I don't yet.
If you get an awesome enough deal, okay, and then you renovate it, and then you can go to refinance it. And so you might have bought it for 40, put 60 into it, but now it's worth 160. So you can actually get a loan and get more cash back, but you still have a cash flowing property with 25% equity. And so basically it's like a free house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the last 2 I did were those. And
nice.
So, yeah, man. And then with the cash flow from the 5 rentals, I was able to totally cover my costs of the house that I live in, the one that I just bought. And so I'm moving in, just getting stuff situated still. Everything that goes along with moving, it takes 2 times longer than you think it would.
Yeah.
It's fun, man. I'm feeling very happy about it. And I posted all that on Instagram. I kind of walk people through, and people had a ton. It was the most questions I've ever gotten on Instagram. And so I've been trying to figure out what's the right way to maybe share more. Cause I feel like people wanted to know more about getting those rental properties, especially the ones that ended up being free. So yeah, it was exciting. It was exciting to see people respond, and people that weren't even in real estate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was awesome to see some of my friends from long ago come out of the woodwork and stuff and ask questions. So that was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing that. Yeah. Are you on Instagram?
You know what, man? Since I started wholesaling, I said I got to kind of come out of my shell and get into the social media. So I don't know anything about Instagram. I don't know anything about Twitter. Yeah, like I try to create the stuff, just kind of do it and figure it out as I go.
Yeah.
But I couldn't even tell you my name. I mean, whatever I do is probably under Damius Alexander or Alexander Damius, something like that. Yeah. I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah. When did you get started with real estate investing?
So I went the traditional route back in 2010 with my primary residence. I bought my first home, kind of the traditional way. Found a realtor and found a good deal. Actually, I found a third-party company, and I didn't have the perfect credit score at the time. Okay. So basically, I got with a company. They kind of like third-party it. They kind of play middleman and maybe jack up the interest rate, so they make their money on the payments. But then the idea is you go and obviously refinance with whatever financial institution that you can find, and you kind of pay the third party out of the deal. It's kind of like wholesaling. Now that I think about it, but just some different, a little bit different. Yeah. So I bought a house at the time. I think they gave me like a 9.5% interest rate or something like it. Like I said, something crazy. Yeah. But even at the time, I was like, knowing what I know now, I wouldn't have did it. But it was one of those, okay, I want the house.
Sometimes deals can make sense even if the percentage isn't normal, Yeah. So it all depends on the deal.
Yeah. So in that case, I think I bought it, and I knew my credit was fine. I was just young. I was early 20s. So I think I refinanced out of that in like 3 to 4 months. So then I was able to get an additional loan and, whatever the interest rate was then, I think 4% or 4.5% or something like that I got. So that was the first time I bought my first investment property, 2014. Okay. Which was a 4-family, a multifamily. Me and my father bought that, and not really understanding how to analyze deals. It was just like, whoa, this deal, it was one of those, oh man, we can buy a 4-family at, $23,000 a door. I think it was 20, something crazy. It was like, well, we haven't seen anything this cheap in our area. We did all the work, so we looked at it, didn't need much work. We took it. Knowing what I know now, it's still actually a good deal. But that was my first investment property, and we still have that. And so far, no issues. It's always cash flow for us. Not doing anything where we're putting the passive income or the cash flow to use in our personal lives. We're kind of just keeping it there and letting it build up for the property's sake and just dumping everything in the property. Yeah.
I mean, you want your assets to let you buy more assets.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool, man. Cool that you can do that with your dad too.
Yeah. It was cool, man. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Love your black paint in your office.
Oh, well, don't know if that's the office. Yes, that was my first, what do you call those things there? I forget what you call them. I don't want to call them a picture. It's a certain name. Canvas.
Yeah. I mean, the wall itself too. It's like an accent. It's like a black wall. I like that. Yeah. My house has a few walls like that. It adds a good element.
First time I ever painted. So.
Well, I'm not an interior designer though, so I should stop talking about things I don't know.
Just went for it, man. Like you say, just took.
Yeah, I think it looks good.
Thanks.
So, tell me about, you got to deal with DealMachine, right?
Yeah. I'm sure you want to know about that, right? So, when I started driving for dollars, I pretty much started right away with DealMachine. I'm one of the guys that I'm an analytic by nature. Yeah. But I think I learned pretty well from other people's mistakes. So I'm not that hard head. So I was like, I knew what it would take to drive for dollars, to write the names or the properties down, take the properties back, look up the owner's name, through your tax or your county's assessor's office, write that down, trace the person if you could find their number. Like I knew what the process could be. So once I heard about the app, and then you guys granted the trial period to try it out, I was like, man, it's pretty genius. Like this guy should probably be a millionaire by now. You know what I mean? Like if it's working and doing what it's supposed to do. So I jumped right away with the app. It was great right away. Of course I took a picture of my own house to send my own.
You got to test it out, right? Yeah. Like, does this really work?
Yeah. I just the analytic. Okay, let's see how fast these postcards really get here. So, I took a picture of myself, paid the whatever, and then I just started taking pictures of homes. And I think one weekend, I think I added, maybe 190 properties just over a Saturday and a Sunday time span.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
Do you hear that, everyone listening? Everyone listen close. He added 190 properties in a weekend.
Yeah.
Dude, you wouldn't believe it. Somebody will come and say like, oh, DealMachine didn't work. And then I'll look at their account. They had it for a full year and they only added like 100 properties. So it's just like, man, you got to do some of the work too. Any marketing method that's going to be the very, very best is like, it's the best if it requires just a little bit of work that people aren't willing to do,
Yeah.
That's awesome that you put the work in and you just hammered it one weekend.
Yeah. Well, it's the mindset. I think you hit it on the head with, the more difficult it appears, the more excited, you have to become, because you look at everything you do as a filtering process. If I have to go a little bit farther, there's only going to be a few people that's going to do it. And then if I have to go a little bit farther than that, there's only going to be a few people that's going to do that. So I didn't really even look at the numbers like, oh, well, I have to add 2 properties. I think is what you state. It takes maybe 200 and, maybe mail it 6 to 8 times or whatever the numbers are that you guys have. To me, it was just like, let me just go add as many as I can. And then I think that will help me with my consistency, which I think we talk about it a lot in the real estate world, right? But I think sometimes it's hard to really understand what that means. And I think for me, the mindset shifted when I understood that when you send out postcards or a mailing, everyone's going to be in a different situation when they read a postcard or a mailing. If I mail out today 200 people, they may just hold on to that postcard. One person may call right away and tell you where to go. One person may call and say, how did you get, why are you taking pictures of my house? You're going to get so many different responses. But I understood that, if I see a home and it's distressed, and some of them you just know, like, okay, this house has no one's tending to this property. Like, if anyone gets this postcard, they have to call me if they get it.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand that the consistency is you can't determine when a person wants to call or when they want to call. And it's just like, I compared it to Walmart. If Walmart would have opened their doors when they first started and said, well, I'm going to open my doors 2 hours today. Well, no one came in today to shop, so no one's buying, so I'm going to, shut the store back down. They would, they wouldn't be able to be the business that they are. But what it really took was for them to be consistent. We're going to open up from this hour to this hour every day. And eventually, once we stay consistent and our presence is felt, then you start to build up that momentum and, the floodgates eventually open for you. Mm-hmm. So I think it's the same thing with what we do. We just have to understand the consistency and what it really means.
Yeah.
Is you just have to stay present.
Yeah, man. I was just thinking about this yesterday. If I think about any of the successful people that have influenced me or that I know personally, I feel like the thing they have in common is the ability to focus for over long periods of time.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like if you keep focus for long periods of time, it's a thing that a lot of other people aren't willing to do. And when you've been doing it for long enough, the rewards start to come out of the woodwork, or you get referrals, or you get, what I mean? It's that makes a lot of sense whenever I heard that and started thinking about it. So yeah, I don't know. It was just motivating for me to just keep focused and keep working on making, DealMachine better. And just keep wanting to add rental properties.
Yeah. And to even add to what you're saying, man, it's for me, what I had to understand too, again, it all came to the mindset, is understanding how to celebrate the small victories.
Yes, I'm so bad at that. Yeah. I'm so bad at showing, any kind of emotion in general, man.
I mean, you have to. So even for me, someone calling me and asking, why are you taking a picture of my property? And even though, even with me having that conversation and they telling me where to go, I hung up the phone and said, okay, this is actually working. These postcards are hitting mailboxes.
Mm-hmm.
So that was that small win that gave me the confidence to stay consistent, because I tell you, if you look around your everyday life, that's with the things that's put out in front of you, that's put in front of you every day, there's not much just in our everyday lives that's giving us confidence, giving us the motivation to continue to just better ourselves or even just change that mindset, you know, that we can do things. I mean, there's not much that's just put in front of you. TV, radios, billboards, driving down the street, in stores, you know, the checkout counter aisles. So you have to almost play tricks with yourself and understand, okay, I got phone calls. This is working. You know, even with the skip tracing, you know, and I skip traced the list, and people started to just, I got a bunch of wrong numbers, but then I started to get some people that say, yeah, and I'm just not interested. Well, I may not have got a deal that day. I may not have got an appointment, but wow, the skip tracing thing worked. I'm getting in the position to have quality conversations with homeowners.
Mm-hmm.
So more, you know, so let's do more. So just kind of you celebrate those kind of things. And I think that's what you have to use to continue to stay consistent, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, dude, it's like tough to be rejected, and it's the reason why people don't cold call in the first place.
Yeah. And I love it.
Yeah. And also people change their mind all the time, and stuff happens like that comes up in their life that would then change their mind about selling their house too. So a no right now doesn't mean no tomorrow.
Exactly. That's what I think I'm trying to find the balance with, because we did a deal with a lady that we cold called. She said, I'm not interested in selling my property. You know, I don't think I'll ever sell, but if it makes you and your team feel better, call me in a month.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kind of real, like, you know, whatever, I'll give you guys something to do since you want to bother me. We called her in a month. Well, she wanted information about our company. She said she wanted to look us up online. And I said, I'm just starting out. I'm one man show at the time.
Yeah.
You know, but long story short, I met with the lady, you know, build the rapport, went on the appointment. I think we called her exactly a month later, and she was ready. So after we closed the deal, that was a $15,000 deal. I literally got it under contract and had a buyer 4 hours later.
Wow.
Look at it, you know, and these guys were serious, very good area, you know. But my point of telling the story is there was all type of things at the beginning where, you know, how long has your company been in business? I'm looking you up online and things like that. And we got the deal done. And I did an interview with her at the title company, and I asked her, you know, how did you hear about us? And what was it like working with us? And what would you tell someone that's thinking about it? And she said it. She was like, the thing was, you guys just weren't, you know, persistent. I mean, you guys called at the right time. I had no plans on selling this property, but the day you called, I said, call me in a month. I got a violation on my property. The tenant literally moved out the day before with no notice, and you guys called me maybe 3 hours later. And at that time, when I got that notice on the property, I was like, screw this. I'm not putting another penny into it. The city can take the house if they want it, but you guys happen to call. So,
jeez,
again,
it's awesome.
Yeah. So, you know, it worked. Consistency. She told us no. You know, it was kind of, well, since you guys have nothing else to do with your lives, call me in 3 weeks or call me in a month, you know. And I guess she didn't think we would, and we did, and it closed on that maybe 2 weeks ago.
That's so awesome. She didn't say that, really, did she? She didn't say in case you don't have anything to do with your lives.
No, it was more like the attitude, like, is this what you?
Yeah.
You know, everybody thinks we're telemarketers initially. You know, we're selling.
Right.
And, you know, what you guys do is call people. Like, well, ma'am, you know, we kind of smooth it over. Well, ma'am, we're actually in the area. We're just checking with all homeowners to see if you may have a property you're interested in selling. You know, we understand if you're not. You know, so I tell people all the time, it's okay to tell us no.
Yeah,
call you.
That's right.
We'll probably call them. We'll probably call them too.
So what was the, how'd you find a buyer for this one?
I had a buyer's list. So
okay.
This person, I've set with my buyers. I like to, when I first got started, I think I, you know, sat down, I sent some postcards out to some buyers from a buyer's list, and they called and wanted to talk and meet, tell me what they were looking for. And a lot of it came, man. I hate to kind of go back to, you know, the DealMachine app, but one thing I really think, again, the small wins of doing the driving for dollars is celebrate the fact that you learn in the market. And what I mean when I say learn in the market, to not just make that a vague statement, is you're seeing activity. Now you're starting to realize, you know, wow, you know, this area has a lot of, you know, it's very close to shopping areas, or there's a lot of cranes in this area, or there's a lot of new construction. You start to see things that you really didn't, you know, pay attention to.
That's right.
Didn't notice too much. But because you have, that focus, it's kind of like you said, we have that focus on what we're looking for now. You start to, oh man, I've been riding past these houses every day going to work.
That's right.
So I think that's kind of one of those things that, again, I just really, like I said, I don't want to say trick myself, but it's one of those things where I really say, okay, I wouldn't know this, or I wouldn't, know this area if I didn't just get in the car and start driving,
Yeah.
So that's what happened. I met the buyer. They told me, what they wanted. I went and drove the area they were interested in, and it made sense. And now that I'm been in the business, everyone wants to buy in the area. So I had zero doubt. Like I had no doubt that the property would sell. These were just some of the very few buyers that reached out to me, invited me out for lunch, and talked to me about doing some rental property deals. They may fund some deals for us if we ever want to do some rehabs. So it became a relationship thing. So they were grateful and appreciative that we called them first. And I mean, they were like, yeah, we'll buy it. We'll take it from you. Yeah, we'll take it at that price. So
awesome.
Yeah, man.
What was the spread on that deal?
That deal, that was a $15,000 deal.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you end up splitting it with a partner or anybody else, or is it just you?
No, it was just me.
Okay. Wow. That's pretty good, man. And so you've got 193 properties in your DealMachine account at that time, right? Something like that.
Yeah. Maybe a little more.
How many times, do you know how much money total you had spent on DealMachine at the time?
From when I started to now, or from the first?
I guess just total. I mean, yeah, so far.
So, I mean, with the monthly fee.
You could tell also if you have the ability to log in. We've got an analytics page that shows all that.
Oh yeah, I probably need to study that. Yeah, I got everything logged, even like you said with Podio and stuff, but I said, okay, I need to sit down maybe this quarter and start really seeing where everything is, which I just did. As far as what I spent, let me see, I have my mailers on 6. My rotation is 6 drops. What do we say? Maybe 200 properties.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe, I don't know, maybe not even $1,000.
Okay. Yeah. How often were you sending the mail out?
I do mines every 21 days.
Okay.
6 touches.
Gotcha.
6 drops.
Yeah. That's great. I love the 21 days every 3 weeks. I think it feels like a good rhythm to me.
Yeah. Hopefully it hits every, like you said, that 4th week of the month, or maybe every month, pretty much once a month. Yeah.
It's awesome. And then what did you do with the money? Did you say I'm going to take a portion of this for my profit, take a portion of this to invest it back in your business, or how did you think about that?
So right now for me, what I do, no matter how much I make, is I knew what my life expenses were before I started the business, and I was living fine. Obviously now I'm making more money, and I just said right now I'm not going to, I'm not going to spend more than what I was already doing. So right now I'm just dumping everything back into the business. So
okay.
Right now I don't take anything for myself. It's just all sitting there waiting for marketing. Obviously I can't drop $20,000 in marketing in 1 month because, I have to have the team to handle that kind of marketing. But yeah, it's all there. It gives me, time to just look at other marketing strategies. But no, man, I just 30% for taxes. Everything else goes back into the business.
Mm-hmm.
Repeat.
Sorry, you broke up. Did you ask me a question?
No, I'm sorry. I was just saying rinse and repeat. I said 30%.
Oh, rinse and repeat. That's right.
Put everything back into the business and just go broke. I mean,
that's right.
Go broke, but hustle like I'm broke again.
Dude, there's a lot of power in that adversity, right? If you feel like you can't spend a ton of money and you do the work that a lot of people aren't willing to do.
Yeah. Now, so what do you see? Obviously, you have a lot of people using the app. What have you seen from a struggle standpoint? What have you seen a lot of people struggle? Is it just not mailing enough? Is it?
Oh yeah, that's definitely the top number one is people just don't do enough. It's like you got to add at least 200 properties, and you've shown you can do it in a weekend.
Yeah.
But people will kind of let the app sit there without them using it. So that's the number one problem, guaranteed.
Yeah, you got to make. I think the first thing is you have to make a commitment to yourself, whatever it's going to be, because me personally, I said, I'm not going to buy this app, pay for it every month and not use it. So
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I had to make that commitment and say, okay, if I'm going to do this, I already know there's going to be days that I'm not going to feel like it. There's going to be moments. That's just the reality. No one's sitting here today with just this burning desire every day to be motivated to do it. You know, you have to find your reasons to keep going, and you have to almost make that promise and that commitment to yourself and keep your word to yourself. So that's kind of what I made it more of a, I need to keep my word to myself that I'm going to do this. And
oh yeah,
I just, 7 a.m. and I think I was literally out there till 9 at night. I mean, it was getting dark and I was trying to take pictures with the flash, and it's like, oh man, this picture doesn't look right on the card, with the flash and the dark. And I just went the following morning and just retook a couple pictures and just continued I just dove in it, man.
That's awesome.
And the deal that I got actually didn't come from the first 200 properties, believe it or not.
Okay.
It actually came from me, which is funny. It came from me driving past a property that I normally drive in my everyday routine. And I saw the property and I said, I'll take a picture of it on the way back. I drive this way on the way back. And I said, no, let me just make a U-turn.
Forget to do that.
Well, I probably wouldn't because I take that route every day. But the reality is every time I'm going that route, I'm going because I have to be somewhere by a certain time. So So it's like, when will I ever have the time to pull over to go take a picture? Like I'll never have that time. Like I'm not gonna. So I just made the U-turn, took the picture, and I think maybe it took 2-3 touches from that particular lead, and they called and said, "Hey, I got your card. I'm very interested in selling that property."
Mm-hmm.
So I listen to those terms. It's different when I'm interested in selling my home, or I have a property that I'm interested in getting an offer on.
Yeah.
But when they say, hey, I'm willing to sell that property over there or that thing, I'm willing to sell it. Like, oh, well, there's no emotion attached to this. This might be, I'm ready to book an appointment already. That was enough, motivation for me. So that's actually what this deal was one of them that I just was getting ready to say, I'll take that picture at another time.
Mm-hmm.
Make a U-turn. I took the picture. Maybe 3 mailings got to this homeowner because I asked people when I meet with them, you got a postcard from us? And they said, yeah, I actually got 3 from you. I got some from other people, but they were just, hey, I'm so-and-so investor. I'd like to buy your house. Please call, So
that's awesome.
Man.
That's awesome. Thanks so much for sharing your story. I want to send you some DealMachine swag. So I'm going to text you over a code so you can buy some and ship it to yourself from our swag store at no cost.
Swag. All right, man. Cool. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you can get a hat or a shirt or a phone case. Whatever you want. We got it for you.
Cool, man. I get it. I'm out here, man. I help you out, man. Anything I can do to help out.
No, I'm trying to help you out. It's just free.
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate it, man. People ask me what's DealMachine.
All right, man. Well, thanks, Damius. I really appreciate it. And it's a pleasure getting to meet you and get to talk with you.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me, man. And good luck with everything, David, man. Like I said, I hope you take over the world with it.
Man, I appreciate it. Our mission is to help you get more deals. So let us know if there's something that you want us to add to the app, or we've even got a page for those types of submissions, and we actually work on them. So let us know.
Cool, man. Thanks. We'll do that.
All right. See you, Damius.
All right. Thanks, David.
Later. Bye.